Hey there, peace, light, and love. My name is Kristen with a D for those that aren't familiar with me, and thank you for tuning in. I want to share this message. It was a message that I intended to share last night, but as I was recording the message, I received a phone call or a return call, and I made a choice to answer the call instead of ignoring it and finishing the video. I figured it was important for me to have the conversation that was to be had when that call came through. What I'm seeing now, hindsight, is that call, whereas could have potentially been good, turned out to be a huge distraction to the work that I was intended to do at that time. Therefore, nothing good really came out of the call, except for a very tangible example of the lesson that I wanted to teach on today, which is anything that takes you away from your great is bad. It's toxic. It's distracting. And I do mean anything. Point blank, period. Energy is everything. Everything is energy. And you'll hear me say that a lot. Energy is the ability to do work. Okay. Any task that needs to be accomplished on any level is going to require energy. And when you have been purposed with great tasks that require high energy, you will also be faced with many opportunities, many challenges, as far as many challenges to protecting that energy. When I first started recording, I was high energy. I was on a roll. I had very good clarity as far as what it was I was intending to say. Communication flowed. I was like, felt like I had like the most comfortable seat and the lighting was right. And, you know, it was just like, yeah. And then that phone call came through and I paused for a second to see if I should answer it. And then I just said, forget it. I'm going to go on ahead and talk real quick and I'll just start the video over. Well, that energy that was supposed to be utilized to record that video was wasted because that real brief conversation turned into an hour. And that hour conversation left me super heavy, super low vibing. I had a headache. And it was just like a complete shift. It was a complete shift. There was a complete transfer of energy. And I had to work through that. So when I got off the phone and I noticed the difference in my energy, I attempted to push through, press through how I felt, because feelings aren't always facts, but feelings do point you to the fact of what is going on with you if you pay attention. I ended up recording a video. That mug was like 40 minutes long. And right when I was done, I felt immediately I was going to need to do that again. So I called myself getting ready to reset. Reset my energy, sit next to the open window, or open this door next to me while it was raining. Allow the natural source energy of rain and wind and the storm to kind of clear through the low vibing energy I had taken on from that conversation. Utilize essential oils to clear my headache and to calm me. Drink water. I felt like I was taking the steps to transmute that low vibing energy. And what ended up happening is me realizing that by accepting that phone call, I missed an opportunity. Like that quote unquote, this is good, this conversation needs to happen phone call turned out to be really bad because it caused me to miss a very valuable opportunity last night. I'm grateful for grace. I'm grateful for mercy. I am grateful that instead of posting a mediocre video, my spirit ended up leading me to resting, taking a couple of hours to rest. And now that I think about it, it's only been about 3 hours that I've been asleep. But I do not have the headache that I had after that phone call last night. I do not feel heavy like I used to. Like I successfully transmuted that energy. I was successfully able to transmute that energy. I do wish I was as clear as I was when I was recording last night. I'm not unclear, but I'm in a different space right now. And that's okay too, because regardless of how I feel, the work still has to get done. What I will not allow to happen again is distractions. This particular person that I was talking to had already been cut off from my energy significantly over the last year or so, more than that. Had been cut off because they were a distraction. They were accessing more of my light energy than they should have been. You have to know yourself to be able to know what it is that you're doing at all times. Kind of like there's a passage in the Bible where Jesus is talking, Yahshua is talking, and he stops and says, "Who just touched me?" And the disciples are like, it's a lot of people out here. What do you mean, who just touched you? And he was like, nah, I just felt some power leave me. I just felt some of my power leave me. Jesus literally felt the energy transference because a woman who had an issue, a condition, reached out and touched the hem of his garment. And when she did that, some power or energy left Jesus and transferred to that woman. And she had to stand up and say, it was me. Like, you have to be able to identify where your energy is going. And you have to know that everything that reaches for your energy, just because something or someone reaches for your energy or expresses a need for your energy, doesn't necessarily make you responsible for giving them what it is that they're looking for. Sometimes that energy was intended for a particular task, assignment, or purpose. And to give that to something else is a poor use of your energy. And it's energy that you don't get back. It's time that you don't get back. It's an opportunity that's potentially missed because when it became time to show up, you were unprepared. I care about this person that I had this phone call with dearly. That didn't justify me giving them energy that was intended for something else. Energy is literally the ability to work, the ability to complete tasks. I got work to do. I came here with a purpose. I was born on purpose. My spirit knows full well what my purpose is and leads me day by day, step by step, through the task, the assignments that are necessary for me to complete whatever it is I was purposed to be here for. Like whatever it is that I'm supposed to do, every experience in my life is a lesson that I can guarantee 100% is going to come back around at some point in time. I homeschool my children, and doing math with my oldest is super frustrating for me sometimes. Doing math that appears to be super pointless is frustrating for me. Like doing math and not being able to explain how you're going to utilize this in your day-to-day life, or, you have to learn these steps here, but this isn't really, that's frustrating for me. But I would be doing my child a disservice if I allowed her to skip these lessons and move on to the next without mastering these skills here. Because regardless of what it looks like right now, math skills build on each other. So if you skip steps today, when you reach tomorrow and you need to pull out a particular skill from your tool bag, you won't have it because you skipped that step instead of choosing to go through even when it didn't make sense to you. Do you follow what I'm saying? Every experience in your life equips you. It sharpens a tool. It allows you to gain a new tool, a new skill, and you might not know where that skill or tool is going to be applicable in your life today. But if you're experiencing it, you should know, rest assured, it's going to come up again. There's going to be an end of chapter review. There's going to be a semester exam. There's going to be an ACT or an SAT or some type of major test where it's going to show up again. You're going to want to have been attentive to your assignment. You're going to want to have gained the skills that you needed back then in order to get through right now. So another example is I experienced that heaviness, a heaviness after that phone call. Well, I've experienced heaviness before. I know who I am. I know that I naturally absorb energy, whether it be good or bad. If I expose myself to certain energy or to most energy, I position myself to potentially absorb it. Therefore, transmuting energy is something that I do on a regular basis. I had to learn that about myself. I had to be able to recognize, wait a second, all of this ain't my shit. I feel this. I'm very clear on what it is that I'm feeling, the heaviness, the headache, the pressure in my shoulders, the frustration, the disappointment, like just an influx of heavy energy that is not my normal energy. I had to I've had to distinguish the difference between my energy and other people's energy in the past. I've had to do the work of changing that energy because energy can't be destroyed or created, it's only transformed. So, to know how to get that energy up off of me, like those were skills that I've mastered in previous experiences in my life, in my current life, my present life. Therefore, when it was time to pull it out the tool bag, I had it ready. I felt that I knew what I needed to do. It was raining outside, so I couldn't necessarily go and sit outside. Let me open this door and sit next to the open this glass door and sit next to the screen and allow the wind to come through, allow myself to listen to the rain, allow myself to experience that fresh air. Let me utilize my essential oils to help knock out this headache that I'm feeling. Let me drink water. Let me pray and meditate and get clarity on what exactly just happened, so that I would know what it is exactly that I'm releasing and what it is that I'm holding on to. Thank the Most High, all praise to the Most High, that all things come together for good, period. But it is up to you to decide as you're going through experiences what is significant and what isn't. The lesson that I needed to experience was the reminder of anything that is good is bad if it takes you away from your great. That's what I need, because that was the intended message in the first place. And then I was put to that test before I even could get that message out. So yes, the application of that lesson was very significant in that overall experience. The headache that it came with, the heavy emotions that it came with, the low vibing energy that it came with, that shit didn't serve me. So I had to release that. Release what doesn't serve you, take what resonates, and then keep it moving. Do the next right thing. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Yes, I'm back. Excuse me. So yes, the whole point is knowing yourself so that you can be able to identify and recognize what is for you and what is not for you. Valuing your energy, loving yourself, and protecting your energy so that it is not wasted on things that take you away from your purpose and your destiny. Another example of that is scrolling Facebook. I've pulled away from social media significantly because whether I engage in it or not, by reading it, by scrolling it, by whatever, however you want to put it, I'm investing energy in Facebook. Facebook is not giving me a high vibing return on my energy. You know, you might scroll 10 posts, and out of 10 posts, 8 of them are negative. 2 of them might be an encouraging word or something random like that. But you just spent more time taking in and absorbing negative energy versus the light energy you feel like you're getting from it. When in all actuality, Facebook is a distraction that keeps you from doing other tasks. Not only does it keep you from doing other tasks, it drains your energy. And that's just one example of social media in general. It drains you of your energy. It drains you of energy that was intended for a purpose. And after you scrolled, it's difficult to focus oftentimes. It's difficult to find the motivation to do something else after you sat there and scrolled for so long. And then you find yourself on a hamster wheel and not really accomplishing what you're intended to accomplishing, or accomplishing it in a very mediocre way, because the energy that was intended for the task has now been wasted away somewhere else. So my encouragement to you today, in this moment, whenever it is that you are listening to or watching or experiencing this video, my encouragement is that you spend time knowing you. Spend time truly getting to know yourself. Spend time analyzing what energy you possess and the purpose for that energy, and sharpening your tools within your tool bag, acquiring new tools, so that as you go through life, you're not just out here living. You're not just out here doing stuff, but you're actually being intentional in accomplishing your soul's mission. A scripture that has come up tonight that is really important or really relevant to what we're talking about here, I believe it's found in Mark. And it says, what profit is a man, or what profits a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? Oftentimes we're here on earth working to gain material possessions and completely ignoring the fact that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and missing the opportunities to grow our soul and nurture our soul on a spiritual and energetic level. Oftentimes we set goals based off of the world's standard, and we find ourselves working towards these goals that have nothing to do with our soul's mission. And we wonder why we're not successful. We wonder why we're super delayed in manifesting what it is we're working on. We wonder why there's a lack of peace, or a lack of discipline, or a lack of clarity. We wonder why shit just doesn't work out the way we're intending it to work out. It's because it was never intended for you to do some of the stuff you're doing in the first place. It was intended for you to be on a whole nother path. But until you sit down with yourself, until you connect to source energy, until you heal yourself and transmute the low vibing energy that most oftentimes we pick up in childhood and carry throughout adulthood, until you do that, you won't be clear on what your purpose is. I'm very clear on what my purpose is, and I have several tasks that I'm here to accomplish. One of the main ones being focusing on my children. So anything that takes my energy and my attention away from investing in them in a very direct way, that's bad. This is why I am not currently working a regular W-2 job. I'm not an employee anywhere. I am self-employed. I have to be self-employed because the line of work I've positioned myself to do throughout the years, the line of work that I'm qualified to do, any work, period, that I do takes energy away from my children. And I'm not talking about everybody's situation. I'm not knocking you if you're choosing to go to work. I'm talking strictly about what Kristen was purposed to do. Kristen with the D was intended to nurture these children. Kristen with the D was intended to heal her own energy and to be able to access and tap into source energy to supply all of my needs, which I have done, which I am doing, which I will continue to do. Because the more that I tap into source, the more that I trust source energy, the more energy I have to positively impact and accomplish the tasks that are before me. Period. Source energy. Your body is of the earth. Your body is the earth. Your body is all of the elements. You embody all of the elements. You are bigger than your flesh. You are bigger than yourself. So I encourage you to heal yourself so that you can connect with your spirit, so that you can gain clarity on the direction you're going with your life. You will know what is most important and what's not most important. Like, I am skilled and equipped to work in the family and child service system. And it just so happens that family and child services, where I live now, if I was to apply today, I could start a 40 to 45K a year position probably tomorrow, especially the way they're desperately hiring and looking for help. But for me to recognize and identify the work that I have to do is bigger than the family and children service system here. And that would be a distraction that would take me away from my actual purpose. Something good that will then turn into something bad because it's not what my spirit intended to accomplish when I got here or for the time that I'm here. Know you, heal you, love you, be you. Know you, your physical, your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual. That's holistic you. All four of those bodies make up the holistic version of you. Heal you. Do what it takes to heal those four bodies. Love you. Take responsibility for who you are intended to be. Protect your energy and put it where it was intended to go. Be you, unapologetically, authentically, with grace. So, until next time, peace, light, and love. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe the videos. Like and share the videos. Subscribe to the channel. And talk to you soon.